Okay. Jim, would you like to lead the passage, please?
Lo taka asha labana me mebe no hakanu ani ashar av avoki yoshab braksa.
Okay, good job. I like your fluency, but in terms of accuracy, there are some parts that you miss. Okay, let's do it one by one. Jim, one more time.
Lo
Low.
taka
What is it? What is this?
taka
Okay, what is this?
taf
It's a headache. So
tika
yes, tika. All right, and then
asha isha
right, good. Isha.
libeni
Good
libe
job.
me mebe
No, no, it's a headache
no
again.
mi beno
Okay.
nevat
Mm-hmm.
heke
This is
no
pata. Ah, ha.
hake no ani
Okay. Yeah, I
asha
think these are okay for you, but it's a couple of vowel points that you have missed. Okay, so headache and then pata. Okay, so good job. One more time. Paul, would you like to read, please?
Yes, sir. Lo tikak isha libni mibenot ha kena hakena oh no ha kena ani asher anoki ishab bearu bearuno bearu.
No, this is a tzade. It's
Oh
not
yeah,
ayin.
okay. Bearu cho.
Good job. I think that's a common mistake is about the distinction between ayin and tzade. I think it's something that I can easily recognize from other students too. So pay attention to it. And then I think Pastor Paul, you did a good job in distinguishing vocal schwa from silent schwa. I think that is the most challenging part. But when you are confused, just remember two things. When you have a schwa and check the preceding vowel points, if we have a long vowel point, then that is what? Vocal schwa. And if you have a short vowel, it's a silent. In this case, number two, if you have dagesh, then it's vocal schwa. I think these are the most important, signs for vocal schwa. Okay, you did a good job.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, I could see a great improvement since your Hebrew reading quiz. So from the perspective of teachers, quizzes work. Quizzes work. I know it's a lot of pain that you need to take. You need to spend time memorizing and practicing. But from my perspective, quizzes work very well. So I think I need to give you a lot of quizzes next trimester. Okay, don't worry, you can survive. All right, today we are going to talk about lakak again. Okay, we are talking about this yesterday in terms of a prefix form and affix form and imperative form. I think it's not a quite new thing that we are dealing with today. And also we'll talk about feminine noun endings that we must to know already. Okay. And of course, asheru is also what you know already, but we are going to talk about it in terms of idiomatic expressions and participle form of first yod verb. Okay. Uh, let's analyze it. Can you see where the verbs are? Where can you find the verb?
After no.
Yes, after law. So it's always a good start, to see whether or not you have a verb in the beginning, the first one, because the ordinary orders of your Hebrew language is what? Verb, subject, object. So, but sometimes it's intentionally changed by the author to highlight whatever comes in the beginning. Okay, here, so we have a word. Okay, looking at those three components, we are not familiar with this word. And according to the lesson yesterday, we learned something here. And what is the reason why we have dageshi here? And there seem to be two possibilities. Maybe the root letters are tav, kof, and chet. And then this one is PL stem. Then it makes sense and affix form. Are you following me? But it's not the case. The second possibility is this one is prefix pronoun and assimilation. So now looking at those, components, you need to come up with all those possibilities. So even talking about the first possibility, you need to, think about, you know, um, all those things from different perspectives. That means if you can just approach this analysis from two different angles, then that means you understand a lot of things in terms of grammar. Uh, but most importantly, your vocabulary is what matters. How do you know this one is prefix pronoun and assimilation? Because you are familiar with kak ending. That's why I encourage you to pay attention to the specific two consonant sounds of a word, a weak verb, like first yod, first noon, those, and or third he, those yod, noon, and he will be easily dropped off when they are attached to, other aspects like prefix pronoun or complements. So in the case, you need to be familiar with the other two consonants that are normally remain. Okay. So in this case, we know, although this one is lak, kak, k, which is the first lamed, how come is that assimilation is taking place here? And this is what we studied about yesterday, right? Lakak follows first noon verb pattern just for prefix form. Why? Because in terms of imperative form, it will not follow the first noon verb pattern, which means you cannot see the assimilation. I want to say for imperative form, especially dealing with this the word lakak, then it will follow first yod verb pattern for imperative, which means the first component, which is normally yod, will disappear without giving us any hint like assimilation. Do you remember the difference between first yod and first nun in terms of imperative? Right? The first yod verb just will drop off the yod when they are used in the imperative stem. in imperative form. But unlike first noon verb, the noon will be gone, but you will definitely have assimilation. So lakak follows different patterns, but praise the Lord, there are some patterns there. Okay, so that's what we studied yesterday. So then let's move on. And then I told you this dages is not what is dageshi porte for PS stem, but it's assimilation. So would you go ahead? What is the stem? Kai, go ahead.
Prefix.
Prefix. And what about PGN?
MSG into and free MST.
Edward, good job. 3F SG,
G.
2M SG. So yeah, good. If you didn't write these two possibilities here, then you will lose 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. So make sure that you include all the possibilities that you can see. All right, and then let's move on. Anything else? Special future?
Low.
Low. Low participle? Someone did it. Low participle? No. Low, negative particle low, or just the low, negative low. Okay. Do not put participle. Participle is a form, right? So if we don't understand what the specific name it is, just to put low, that it will be accepted. Other than writing something else like participle or preposition, okay? And then, okay, so what is the meaning? In case of 3FSG, then this is going to be she. 2MSG, you. So you need to include these two possibilities in your meaning. So she, you. And then we need to put lo. What about tense for the prefix form with a verb conversive? No, verb conversive is past.
Verb reverse.
This is verb okay, prefix form with a verb conversive. So the opposite tense of verb conversive. So verb conversive is past tense. So
Future.
should be future.
Future.
So she will or you will, and lo means not. And what is the meaning? Lakak? Take. So she or you will not take. Okay, let's move on. What is this? Isha.
Woman.
Wife.
Yeah, wife or woman. So yeah, you can say that you will not take a wife or a woman. Preposition lamet, to or for. And what about e ending? I think this is ben, which means a son. What kind of a son?
My son.
My son. Good job, Athel. So yeah, this e ending is 1CSG pronominal suffix, which means my. So my son. So the translation is you will not take a woman or wife for my son. Okay, can you see anything? Actually, this one is a irregular form of daughter. Do you remember this? Benot? This one is daughters, plural form of bat. So actually, you know that the daughter is bat, right? And then in order for us to have feminine plural ending, it's good that we have ot ending. But actually, it is not supposed to be coming from ben, because ben is already masculine word. Am I right? But we do have a singular daughter, which is bat. Then the expected form should be batot. Am I right? Or batot. But this one is an irregular variation. So when it comes to daughters, then it's what you are going to see. This is what you're going to see. So this is daughters. And my question is, what is this?
From.
Yes, this is min. Actually, this is min. But this nun is assimilated. See? So when the nun is attached to another component, then it tends to be assimilated. So that is a preposition min, which means from. So from daughters, what kind of daughters? The Canaanite. Canaanites. Canaanites. Okay, so the construct chain. So what is our translation? You are already familiar with Genesis 24:37. So you already know the final translation. You will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites. Okay. Ethel, I think noise is coming in from your place, I think. So please, yes, yeah. But when you want to say something, please don't hesitate to unmute yourself, Ethel. Okay. Uh, thank you. And Asher, relative pronoun. Who, that, which, whatever you like it to be. Okay, it's a magic word. Okay. Anoki, IPP, independent personal pronoun, which means I. Ani, Anoki. All right, there are two, meaning first to common singular. I. And what about this? Your chef. This one is taking holem above the first two letter. So this one is yashab. And then holem above the first two letter. Then what is it? Participle. Okay. Another tip. Uh, I told you there are other indicators of participle form, such as definite article here. Sometimes the verb is attached to a definite article here. As a verb, it can be used together with definite article here because participle has a function to make the verb uh, noun. That's why sometimes it's possible for the participle form to take definite article here. Number two, it comes with an IPP. Not all the time, but if you see a IPP nearby, that like this, then there is a great possibility. So when you have a verb of which first vowel point is holem, then just look around to see whether or not you have definite article here or IPP or another participle. Do you remember these? Right. So these are the indicators of participle form. So then how are you going to analyze this one? As I said, everything is there. Yeah, sharp. Go ahead. What about Stan?
Carl.
Carl. Move on.
Participle.
Participle. Good job. What about PGN?
MSG.
Great.
No.
MSZ. We don't have a person. So MSZ. What kind of PG and other PGNs do we have for participle? We have four. How?
UFSG.
Yeah,
And
FSG,
FSG.
MPL,
MPL.
FPL.
FPL.
Yeah, the ending is special. Nothing for MSG. And then
Input.
im, ot in order. All right. So you are supposed to know those specific ending. Okay. Remember, participle has no person but only gender and numbers. Okay. Good job. PGN then special feature. None.
None.
All right. Meaning
Be
dwelling.
dwelling. Dwelling.
Yes, dwelling, staying. So you can put this one together. But in terms of the main, what is it, tense, we don't know. So we have to look at the context. So it could be even past or future or even present. So I am staying. Okay. Let me move on. Can you recognize this? The first one is preposition be, and then the second one is eret, and then what kind of ending is this? This one might be appearing in your final exam. What is the verb all about? What is this?
Pronominal
Yeah.
suffix.
What is the specific role? What is the identification of the verb ending?
Possessive.
Yes. Pronominal suffix 3MSG. So now you need to understand how you can recognize all those things. Is that clear? So then what is our translation? In his or it land. In his land. Okay, what is our final translation then? It's gonna be a little bit tricky because of Asher. But in the beginning, it's quite straightforward. You will not take a woman or wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, where I am dwelling in its land. Actually, this is the literal translation. Okay, so the idea is, okay, Canaanites is the place where this guy I am dwelling, and then this, it refers to Canaanites. So in terms of English, or in terms of smooth English translation, you may just consider other stuffs. But once again, I want you to prioritize literal translation. If we want to make it smoother in terms of English translation, then you can somehow just to put all those necessary words into parentheses and showing us that you understand the basic meaning of each word. Do you understand? Pierce, in terms of English, how are you going to translate it? Smooth
Okay.
translation.
You will not take a wife from my son from the daughters of the Canaanites. Be who are dwelling in this land.
Or I think in which Canaanites, it's a Canaanites refers to persons, right? Over
Yes.
which land? I think we can say over which land,
Of
right?
which land? Yeah.
Over
Yeah. You can
which
say.
land I am dwelling.
Okay.
I
I see.
think then that makes better
Of which
sense.
land?
All right, in terms
Dwelling.
of English, but the idea is, okay, where I am dwelling. I'm dwelling in Canaanites, the lands of Canaanites. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any question? Is everything clear? Okay, let's move on. So this is a summary, summary of the word, the first verb, lakak, kal, prefix to MSG or 3FG. Low negative particle, the translation you or she will not take. Let me move on. In terms of me, be, not, it's trying to say feminine noun endings are ot ending. That's it. I already gave you the explanation. And then a feminine noun ending, nakhala. Property, inheritance. Okay, in case of the word na, khala, actually the expected form as a singular is na, khala. But when it is used in a construct chain, then you can see the little variation here. That's it. Do not just pay too much attention to it. And then you cannot always expect it in the pata will be appearing because it varies. So you can see that sometimes even you see some little variation in terms of PowerPoint, and sometimes you will not see exactly the same. So that's why I say, in order for you to see the possibility of construct chain, you better pay attention to several aspects. If you see two nouns, you know, um, taking place in a row, side by side, then always a good start to think about the possibility of a construct chain. If you see any variation on the vowel point of the preceding noun, then praise the Lord. That is the sign. But it doesn't always work that way. But in case of plural form, ot ending is quite a special one. But you need to understand that ot is not always used for construct chain because ot itself can be the plural, feminine plural ending. Okay, so you need to be aware of these two possibilities. And then this one is tab ending comes instead of he. Okay, so those things are quite general indicators of in construct chain. Let me move on. Okay, we are done with this. I hope everything is clear. So, come on. Okay, you will not take a woman or wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites in whose land, okay, in whose lands I am dwelling. Literally, which I am dwelling in his land. NIV, you must not get a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites in whose land I live. Okay. My question is, all right, in terms of the syntax here, I'm just dealing with a quite a meaningful point here. Pay attention to me. It is always good for us to ask a question like this. According to NIV, it says, in whose land I live. But the literal translation is, which I am dwelling. As you know that the difference between a fixed form and prefix form and even participle, what is the specific difference? In terms of participle form, it always highlights, not always, but it tends to highlight a continuous action. So somehow the focal point is, the emphasis of the literal translation is, I am right now dwelling here. So if you really try to see the difference between NIV and the literal translation, then you can highlight something there. I think it could be used with prefix form or affix form. But the point is present ongoing action. That's why it is intentionally used as a participle form together with anoki. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in terms of this English translation of NIV, you need to always start questioning, okay? And then try to see why. In terms of a meaning, we cannot see any big difference. But being a Hebrew scholar, such an important thing that you need to recognize. Okay, so it's a quite tiny, difference, but it will enable you to be outstanding as a pastor. You just deliver it, according to my Hebrew lesson, I know this and blah blah, and you will be shining with all those fancy knowledge, and your church members will acknowledge you as a intellectual pastor. Okay. I'm just kidding. Don't take it too much seriously. Okay. But anyway, this is all about the benefit of learning language. It's quite tiny. So I told you before, I don't normally start reading Hebrew Bible when I do my devotion. I normally do the comparison between NIV. I normally start with NIV. NIV is quite a popular ones, NIV, and then I look at YLT, Young's Literal Translation, or KJV. So if I see the big difference or something different like this, then I normally check the original language, and I could find something there. And that is a really good way of doing your devotion and word study. And yeah, okay, move on. Extra grammar. Ought can be the ending of. Actually, this is this type of question can be a good component for your final exam, especially to check your grammatical part. As I said, whenever we have ought ending, then what kind of the possibilities can you have? As you can see, first of all, ought ending is feminine plural noun ending. Okay, and then even it can be used as an adjective and participle form. And third here, verb infinitive. Do you remember? In terms of infinitive, we are dealing with the two exceptional cases. In case of first yod verb, then the first yod will disappear when it is used in the form of infinitive construct. And what will happen? You will have tab ending. Do you remember this? And in case of the third head verb, the third head will disappear and you will have ought ending. Do you remember this? Okay, not tab ending, but ought ending. So now, understanding all those things, and you can see these four possibilities. See, it has something to do with your grammatical knowledge. Okay, do you have any question? Okay, let me move on. Grammar 2. Okay, in terms of the usage of asher, there are several, possibilities. First of all, as a subject of a verb. So as you can see that here, asher is here, and the translation is, and it was evil in the eyes of the Lord, what he had done. So as you can see that what he had done is evil. So it is functioning as a subject. And what he had done was evil. Okay, this one is it. As the direct object of a verb, together with definite article, DDO, no, the definite definite direct object marker. Okay, DDO. So as you can see that at DDO is preceding asher, then don't panic. Just take whatever is following asher as the object of the sentence. Okay? And sometimes it can appear without it, but just to be aware of this possibility. Whom you love. It can be used that way. So asher is a magical word. It can function in variety of ways. And as the object of a preposition, so asher, el asher, then just pronounce and then translate it together with the meaning of el. So for or to where you go. What about with be and also that in which? Just add the meaning of the preposition. With mean, then from that which. You just add the meaning of the preposition. D, expressing a relative relationship. So it is kind of a, what is it, common function of relative pronoun like who, where, that in English. So now you can see that hazon, which means the flock, but the following word is modifying it. So it is expressing a relative relationship. So it is a relative pronoun. The flock, which was her father's. Okay, so they are the stone which was there, things that should not have been done, the commandment which I am commanding you. So can you see the differences? Okay, and then compounds. So here, ka asher, and then ke means as. So what is your translation? Just as for ke asher, ka asher, just as. It's not really that difficult. With independent preposition. So here, where are you? Okay, at asher. What do you mean by at? Until. So just to put the meaning of until. And then the following sentence after asher will be coming. So in terms of the usage of asher, you need to be aware of those various ways of translation. That's it. Okay. Do you have any question? Okay. Today's lesson was quite straightforward, and then I think we could cover most important parts yesterday. What are the things that we have to remember? The specialty of the word lakak. What is it? What is it special about? Lakak follows first nun verb pattern for prefix form. Okay, but what about a fixed form? You will see everything there, which means it will not take any what is it, abnormal components. What about imperative? Imperative form will follow first yod verb pattern. Okay, that's it. And then today we are talking about first yod verb participle form for yashab, but it's not nothing new. Why? Because it's not it's not new things, because everything is there. Whole name above the first little letter is there, so it's not new. And what else? Asher. Asher can be translated in various ways, together with DDO, preposition, or independent preposition, something like that. Then, depending on the meaning of the argument to the asher, then you just differentiate the meaning. Okay, but the idea is whatever is following asher will be a relative component in terms of a meaning. Okay, that asher connects to. So you need to remember all those things, then we are done. All right, I'm so much happy that we are done today. Okay, uh, I've noticed that we started with 18. How many students do we have, Elabaya? It's 18 or 17 now?
18.
Right,
We started
including,
19.
it was 19 with,
Yeah. Baby girl.
yeah, baby girl, right. So we had a 19, and then we are representing how many different countries? I think it was amazing. It's quite a lot. So
Mm.
it was our joy to help the Hebrew scholars to grow in your Hebrew journey. And as long as you can pass, our journey should be continued in Hebrew too. So please make sure you do your job, and then show me your ability, and then whatever you understand in your final exam. Anything that you want to ask?
Sir, just to go over what you said. So the lakat follows the first yod verb pattern, and the yasha follows something else. The first noon
No, lakak
first.
follows first Yoruba pattern for imperative, and
Okay,
then it also follows first number pattern for prefix form.
okay,
It applies two different what is it, rules. Okay, that is a
okay.
special, that is what is it, the uniqueness of the word lakak. Okay, thank you, FL.
Got it.
Oh, it's noisy. Sorry,
Oh,
I need you
sorry.
to
I
mute
should
yourself. Okay.
myself.
Let me tell you this. I also wanna just make a record of this meaningful journey together with you. So probably tomorrow, or I think let's do this on Friday. Let's just take a picture, okay? And then I will just make good record, and I will remember all of you. So make sure that you will put some makeup and the hair and color. Okay, nice. What is a jacket? I don't care about what pants you're going to wear. Okay, let's just make sure that whatever is seen in the screen, then you look nice. Okay, all right.
Wear lipstick.
So, okay, so gonna see you tomorrow. Dominic, what is your question?
Can I wear lipstick?
Oh, sure. Okay. Make sure that you look beautiful.
Try pink, Dominic. Try pink. I think it'll suit you.
All right. Okay, then good luck on your final exam. Just be ready for your translation quiz tomorrow. Okay. God bless you.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
God bless, sir. God bless everyone.
Sir, did the prayer work? Did the fasting and prayer work for our group?
I will see. I
Not
haven't
know yet.
started already. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I hope
okay.
so. Okay.
I'm just trying to fish for information. Thank you, sir.
I know that God is able and nothing is impossible, but sometimes God doesn't answer our prayer. I know.
I know
But
that for sure.
that is the answer of God, by denial. He answers sometimes. I
Yeah,
don't
good
know.
answer.
Okay.
See you
Yeah.
tomorrow, both of you.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. So, anything? Okay. Yeah. As I said, let's take a picture and then just keep it as a good memory on Friday. I cannot hear you. It's still muted.
I have muted myself. I'm still
Oh, yeah.
muted. Do I need to be there tomorrow?
No, I think you don't need to.
Okay, but I
Let
will
me
be there
deal
in
with
the.
it.
I'll be
But
there in the
I will
morning.
appreciate if you can take a picture together with us, on
Yes.
Friday, and then you can
Okay.
leave the room.
Okay, that's before the exam.
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And okay, regarding the grading, okay, I will appreciate you if you can help me with the
Yeah.
grading the
Sure.
final exam. What part do you prefer to do between grammar and translation?
Any, I think maybe I don't know, any.
Translation will be better because that's what
Okay.
you have been doing, and
Okay.
yeah, I
All
think you
right
can do
then.
that. So
Okay.
after
That will be
Friday, then you can.
tomorrow.
Sorry?
They will be doing the translation tomorrow.
Oh, you're right. Okay, then
Yeah.
you can start grading
Yes.
after tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay then.
Right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay. God bless.
Bye.
Bye bye.